Hi, my name's Matt, and I'm going to be showing you the progress I've made porting Halo Solitude to PlayStation Vita. So, a little bit of history before I begin. Halo Solitude was originally released in 2010 by Flaming Ice. The Pretty much everything has been released from that, basically as shareware. However, the original Quake C engine code, even though they released the source code, not all of it is apparently released. Some of it was never fully released. It was picked up, though, by one of the members, I believe, of the team, or someone who worked with them, Mexi Cougar, aka TC Pixel, and he continued working on it until he released a build of it in 2017 as Halo Solitude Revamped for the 3DS. The other person who has been working on it is Ghost Fang, and he has a build of it, but that is also closed source and it's a private build. So this is working off of what TC Pixel has released. I don't have the source code to the game logic, the Quake C code, so I'm not able to make major changes to models, game modes, game logic, weapon logic, stuff like that. So most of what I'm doing with this port is remaking maps, fixing maps, adding menu logic, and cleaning everything up as much as I can before releasing it. And I think that at its core, the game logic is mostly there. It's missing a few weapons, such as the Needler. The Needler's in the game, but the plasma weapons are all broken. The battle rifle is only partially implemented. There's no animation for it, and it only does one shot. The energy sword is incomplete. There's just a bunch of small things, but other than that, all the weapons are there. Plasma grenades are there. The announcers are there. Kill streaks are there. The HUD is there. Not all of it has been ported yet. I did port this in the last port I did of this 2 years ago. But that port, I'm basically redoing the port. And that was built on top of VitaQuake, which is now deprecated. This new one is built on top of Quakespasm Source, which is another Quake port from Rinnegatamante. This also uses basically new dependencies and newer libraries, and that paired with the Quakespasm Source port, we're seeing much better performance. So here's the game. The menu you're going to see, I was inspired to create this after seeing Ghost Fang's menu, which both are, of course, based off of Halo 3's menus. So not all of it is finished. I sort of paused work on the menus because I wanted to start working on the maps, because I feel like that's sort of the meat of the game. I do want to add some more things to this. Things I want to do include adding a map browser like Halo 3 rather than it just having, being something you scroll through. I also wanted to add a game lobby where you can see the players are listed like what Ghost Fang did. I don't know if that's actually going to be possible, though, without changing the Quake C code, which I cannot do. So I'm going to show you some changes. First, I'm going to show you an original map from Halo Solitude Pit. This was originally made, I believe, by Juki, if the map details sort of tell me anything. And basically, what we're going to see is that most of the maps for Halo Solitude are very rudimentary. They were made for a device with, very limited hardware, and then they were ported to 3DS, which has even more limited hardware. So the maps look incomplete. The texturing is sort of basic or not completed. They lack detail. There's no light maps, so everything's a flat color. There's no skybox. Invisible textures are broken. I believe there's a difference in the engine code, potentially. But basically, I'm trying to take maps like this and improve them. So I'm going to show you the V2 version of Pit, which I've been working on. Basically, what I'm doing is adding light maps, adding skyboxes, but I'm not just doing that, right? It doesn't stop there. Sure, that would be nice, but there's lots of improvements to be made. So with this map, I basically retextured everything except for these green walls. The floors have been retextured. The second levels have a different texture than the floor. I wanted to make sure everything is it's very clear where you are. Added lighting throughout the map with these custom light models. Light was applied to the texture using the Eric W tools. I added small barriers, just like Halo 3. Added some props throughout the map. I also created big barriers to replace the more plainly sized and colored barriers in the old version. I made minor changes throughout the map. For example, this walkway was previously one player width wide, and it was very squished. This ramp was redone. Basically a bunch of small things, the details in the corners of this house, the textures inside of here. Basically lots of small changes, which I think make the map more playable. I redid there was no outside previously. I added an outside to match up with the skybox. I fixed the grav lifts, which previously you would get stuck on. Now they work properly. This was done by making it so that this top texture is actually a model, which doesn't exist, only the texture does. So you fall down into the gravity lift, which fixes the Quake trigger. I had to replace the plasma weapons on this map because plasma weapons were never finished in the game. I want these maps to be playable. So this is probably my favorite map to play on the game right now, just because it's the most complete. It's actually modeled like pretty much one-to-one after the actual pit map. So, I mean, you have the playability of the original map. Sorry, I'll add some audio. What the heck? Nice. Get wrecked. He took the weapons I wanted. Oh, they're there. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little bit of gameplay and then I'm going to show you the other maps. It's 7 minutes. So I'm basically hitting 60 FPS this whole time. And that's the goal with this port, is to have a stable 60 FPS on Vita. I mean, that's one of the goals. It's not the only goal. Look, I got a small FPS dip right after I said that. Anyways, this is the map. This is me playing it. I'll also show you a little secret area I added. Oh yeah, this entire top section was not in the original map. I don't know if you noticed that. But that's what I'm talking about when I say, like, I don't want to just re-release these with light maps and skyboxes. So I would consider this to be out of bounds. It's sort of unfair to be up here. But when you're playing against bots, it's pretty fun. FPS is not as good up here since obviously you can see the entire map. And yeah, so Juki created the original map. So credits to Juki. I think it's Juki. What? That didn't kill you? The next map I'm going to show you is Narrows. It's based off of Narrowed. Well, it is Narrowed, which was created by Sci-Fi Nux. It suffered from the same issues that Pit did. And I'm just going to show you basically the V2. So I'll show you Pit V2, and this is Narrowed V2. The map has been expanded. It was smaller. This middle area got increased. I had to redo a bunch of models and some textures, and I added the light map and skybox. Huh. Normally the bots avoid killing themselves, but I found that if you start shooting them while they're in midair, they'll try and do a dodge, which makes them forget their logic that they use to not kill themselves, because they prioritize, I guess, avoiding dying to you. And then finally for those that didn't see the last video 2 years ago, I'll show Citadel, which is an original remake of a Halo 3 map that I did. And this is also incomplete. I haven't done the skyboxes, I haven't added a proper light map with colored lighting, and there's just minor things that need to be fixed. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just removed them all. Yeah, so this is the map. Oops. So it's pretty playable for like a 1v1 or 1v3, even 1v2. 1v2 is pretty good, but definitely not like an 8-person map. Anyways, this is the progress I've made on it so far. I thought about rushing and just putting everything like it was from the port 2 years ago, including the HUD, but I want to take my time with it and make sure everything's done well. I'm going to try and redo the textures on the HUD to be upscaled, or maybe just redo them altogether. And so basically I'm going to take my time. I'll try and post another progress video. I don't know when that will be. Could be, you know, in a few weeks, could be in a few months, could be in the winter. I don't know. But until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.